Sometimes you come across places and you just feel the magic. And here I am, just not far away from where I'm actually camping. And I find a female line and this sort of beautiful area of springs and water and trees. And you can feel it. The goddess is just there, you know. And at the bottom of two trees, guess what I found? Little designs left by somebody else who feels the goddess here, I'm sure. To what purpose? I don't know. But the goddess is strong here. Oh yeah, very strong. Indeed, as I said those words, I had no idea she was watching me from above. Anyway, this is the story of a weekend of dowsing in which the goddess featured prominently. I actually went camping by a village called Opatov. It was a pretty but rather deserted campsite that I found myself on in the van. And it did pass my mind that I might well be in a line. And when I got out and dowsed, I found that the line began at pretty much the front wheel. I was in a female line. And that line also went through this area where the Vidlark sign is. I then found it and its positive companion passing through this lake on the roadside. All Type 4 lines, I must say. As I walked in towards Opatov, I was looking for something I'd passed on the way in, this beautiful little chapel on the hilltop, which is actually situated on a natural spring said to have healing properties, is dedicated to Saint Anne and was built in the 17th century as a sort of Gothic type little chapel. Beautiful atmosphere, again situated on a negative Type 4 line, with the positive being a little bit further up the road. But I did spend some time here because the energies were truly magnificent, very feminine, very wonderful. And I would have tried the water, but it didn't look very clean, so I gave it a miss this time. It's little finds like this that make dowsing so wonderful, particularly in the Czech Republic. I quite often find little chapels or little springs or places of reverence like this. And when I Googled this site when I was back home, I discovered that in fact, it was a place of pilgrimage for many devoted Roman Catholics in the Czech Republic and beyond. The chapel grounds were also the site of some very ancient trees, which were preserved and signposted as, I guess, national treasure trees if you want, this being one of them. And as I looked at it, I couldn't help but see some kind of an angel with wings and a tail about to take off from this spectacular spot. I then walked into the village and round the other side back towards the campsite and came across another spring with lots more feminine energies here. In fact, so strong were the energies that I decided to sit down, and in sitting down to meditate, it was then that I discovered that I was not the only person to have figured out that there were female energies at this location. Someone had been there before me, and I found numerous bases of trees decorated with twigs and other pine cones and leaves and things like that. Whether this is just kids or whether this is something specific around the energies done by some shamanic group, I don't know, but I keep finding this kind of activity in the Czech Republic, all across the Czech Republic. It was then that I headed out of the forest and on towards the edge of the lake and sat and meditated. You can see my van from this spot. I sat here for a while in the sunshine, under the moon, thinking about the goddess and thinking about what a wonderful location I'd stumbled onto at this particular spot. The following day, I wanted to go to the end of the Pagan line and revisit the so-called Pagan node that we'd found in the previous year. I just felt like that this was a spot that needed me to be there that particular day. This is the Pagan node. It is the site of an old castle, and it has numerous trees which have been hit by lightning. Perun has not spared these trees. And I went there to meditate and to talk to the goddess. She and I had some things to discuss, and discuss them we did. I could also hear the high-pitched vibration of the node itself and the pagan lines crossing at this particular spot. The energies are absolutely magnificent, but there is always this prevailing strong cold wind that kind of means that you have to somehow sit out of it on the ground somewhere and escape from that cold wind. And that is exactly what I did. I sat there. I love this place. The interesting thing about the pagan line and the pagan node is that we do believe this could be the Type 4 line that actually comes into the Rudston monolith, not very far north from where I was born and raised in Hull. And so, if we are correct, and we think we are, there is a connection here back to my roots. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, like, and share. Bye.